I wanted to do a quick video update on today's carrot harvest. Carrots have not been great for me this year. We had an exceptionally cold winter, so the carrots that I planted from seed in December and January took weeks before they even germinated. And carrots are fairly slow growing. Oftentimes I'll plant them in the fall, around into October, November, and then harvest them, after a good hard freeze or two, the first week or two of January. Sometimes I can get a second crop in, planting early January. They usually come up fine, and I'm harvesting a decent crop by March. This year I didn't really do a lot of fall carrots, and the ones I planted in December and January, we got down to like 19 degrees for a day or two in January, and that was like a week after I planted them, and they just didn't come up, and it was weeks and weeks before any of the carrots even germinated. And it's been a very, very cool, unusually dry spring, and they were in fabric pots on concrete, not in contact with the ground, and so they were extremely dry all the time, not getting as much water as they needed. And then we've had quite a few days where it's spiked to 90 degrees already, which makes them bitter, makes the roots spongy and less sweet. So the carrot crop was not great this year, but I did want to point out the difference between some of your standard orange varieties that are somewhat boring, but significantly outproduce all of the fun stuff I planted. So I was really excited about the cosmic purples. That's these here. There's a few more cosmic purples mixed in. I thought those would be really neat because you get all the anthocyanins, all those pigments like blueberries, and they're really healthy for you, and I just thought they'd be fun. I like purple stuff. But you can see most of them aren't very big. The Lunar Whites I was really excited about. I will probably never grow these again. This is clearly something that is not domesticated enough for most production. A lot of these seem very close to wild type carrots. They made massive plants, tons of above ground biomass, foliage. One of them almost went to flower, even though carrots are usually biennials. I saw one that was going to flower. Some didn't really make roots at all. I also had quite a few instances where you get all this above ground and then you get almost no root, and that's a characteristic you would see more in like wild carrots. They taste fine, they have a decent taste to them, and the sugar content isn't terrible. They're fairly sweet, but the texture was not good. Probably have to be cooked to be edible, and they just didn't produce a lot of good roots. I mean, like I said, a lot of leaves and just not a lot of great roots. That's the Lunar Whites. That's my least. Of the 4 or 5 varieties I grew this year, that's my least favorite. I will never grow Lunar White again. See all this greening toward the top? It's going to be exceptionally bitter. Just long, gnarly roots that are not ideal for culinary use. Then the solar yellows, looks like very few of those actually came up. I've only seen a couple solar yellows. They're okay, I guess. They taste fine. The clear winner is the good old standard orange varieties, the Châtenay, the Danvers, the Half Danders, the Oxheart. I don't remember what all orange ones I planted, but as much as I like all the cool purple and yellow and white stuff because it's different and unique, you can see the largest carrots here are clearly just the good old orange ones. So something for me to think about more next year. Yeah, it's nice to have all that color and all those unique nutrients in your diet, but in a home garden setup where you have limited space, yields are really important. And this isn't really an heirloom versus hybrid conversation because I think all of these are technically heirlooms, even these orange ones. A lot of your modern hybrids are going to outperform heirlooms in terms of yield, but there's other trade-offs. But this is all heirloom carrots. It just seems like the more boring standard orange types significantly outproduce the more exotic purple and white and yellow types. So I probably will grow cosmic purple again. The yields weren't awful. They were definitely slower than some of the orange ones, but these are still decent sized carrots, and I'm gonna juice most of these, I think. But yeah, I just wanted to give you all a quick carrot update. I haven't really been doing a whole lot of garden videos lately because I've just been really busy, and there's some more hiding in here. I don't know how many carrots we got, but I'm just going to run them all through the juicer and then put a couple mason jars in the freezer, I think. I don't have time to cook all these. I'm not going to really eat them all raw. But yeah, just wanted to do a quick carrot update. You can see these are the fabric pots where the carrots were. And again, they're not in a great situation. They're on brick, so they do dry out much faster. Generally, fabric pots are supposed to have contact with the ground, so that you don't have to water them as often. These are on brick, so they had to be watered much more regularly than I would prefer. I just don't have a whole lot of space, so sometimes I have to put pots on brick, and there can be advantages to that. If you're growing crops like peppers that don't like to be wet and you're getting torrential rains during hurricane season, sometimes it's actually beneficial to have fabric pots non-contact with the ground because they do stay a little drier. But anyway, so that's the carrots for this year. Some of these fabric pots have a few little lettuces left in them, but where the carrots were, I think I'm going to put peppers in next. It's a good rotation because carrots and peppers aren't remotely related. But yeah, so that's the carrots for this year.